few moments ago, we watched the Money Matrix video on which wolf are you going to feed, the good one or the evil one, the one that has fears and doubts and negativity, or the wolf that is fighting inside us for success and for good things, for feeling pleasure, for feelings of all those good things that we want in life. And I look at Michael Huggins here in front of us. He's our trainer today. Here is a guy that he decided to feed the good wolf a long time ago while he was at Jiffy Lube. And that wolf has won. It has been growing and growing, and he refuses to feed the bad wolf. And this morning, he's here to help feed the good wolves inside of us and help us be successful and know all those good feelings. Michael, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Ron. Hire, morning team Elevate. Welcome, Renatus Nation. If this is your first day joining us, welcome. You're in for a treat. And for those of you returning, congrats. Another day, another dollar. Let's get this. Okie dokie. I'm going to share my screen here. And what a lot of people have been asking me to go over is how on earth are we going to have an easy conversation with my friends about this opportunity. I don't want to sound like a salesperson. You know, they got to be cutthroat. I'm not cutthroat. So how on earth am I going to sell this stuff? Well, let's talk about it. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. No cutthroat level is required to be successful in sales. What we do need to keep in mind, always, 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 when we are selling, is how are we adding value? Okay, conversationally, energetically, with ideas, how are we adding value? So if you guys remember from our Wealth Acceleration class, Garrett is talking about if you need money, right, or if you need financial capital, it is just a function of relationship capital plus idea capital. That's it. Idea capital plus relationship capital gets you financial capital. So if you don't have money, then what we need to invest in is either developing more relationships. Well, great news, when you join Renatus, you get all the relationships. And ideas, good. We're a school. Some more ideas. So some people just say, well, no. I just need more money. No, you need more ideas and relationships to create your financial capital. Okay, so how can we add value? I was talking to a few people last night who had no idea they could pay their kids. They had no idea. So I bust out the iPad, I spend 20 minutes, I let him watch it, and now he's had value added to his life. I invested more in the relationship, gave him some more ideas about what we're talking about here is specifically money, but now I'm going to be able to capitalize and turn that into my own money. Okay, so I'm bringing this up because these are the two parts that bring us the money. Don't sound like those people who are like, well, if I had more money, I'd go develop more relationships. Doesn't work like that. Okay, so in this idea of relationships, I had to get over this whole limited belief around relationships being worth time, right? I was always thinking, now I got to do business. What am I here building relationships for? And that was very short-sighted thinking, and so I didn't have a big business. Then once I understood, let's focus on relationships, give them some ideas, now that gets me my monies. You guys picking up what I'm putting down? All right, good. Okay, so let's do this real quick. What I put together here is a simple to follow script that I get together at least once a week with a new team member, and we run this and we find sales out of it. Okay, guess what? Guess what's great about this strategy? It's free 99, as some people like to say. Okay, it's free. Guess what else? It's compliant. Oh my goodness, I love compliance. So it's free, yes, it's compliant. And guess what? It's effective. It works. We're getting sales from it. So if you haven't gone through this, you haven't been exposed to this, this is brand new, and you're like, well, I don't even know how to make a website. I don't know what to do. This is so easy. So we're just gonna do this. So first things first, make a list. Make a list of 200 folks. Sometimes that L is pronounced, sometimes not. Folks. 200 at least. Some people say, well, I don't have 200. Well, you definitely do. Okay, a recent study came out saying the average American has 2,000 contacts. So for you to just sit down and write out 200, that'll be easy. Then you're going to star your top 25. Okay, these are the top 25 people with whom, oh, look at that, English, with whom you want to be in business. Okay, so the first 200 folks that you're writing down, they're just names, No judging. You're not asking, will they buy? Who do I know that has 20 grand? You're not asking those questions. You're just writing down names, 200. Once you have your 200, then you're going to emphasize with whom you want to be in business. Okay, then here's your script. This is easy. You're going to say, hey, Chuck, did I catch you at a good time? Here's the reason why I'm calling. I've been hanging out with, and then you're going to put that person's name. I've been hanging out with Michael, with Laura, with Shelly for a while. Someone who's crushing it in real estate. Okay, now guess what? As soon as you mention real estate in the first sentence, then they don't go, oh, is this one of those things where you're trying to sell me insurance or oils or energy drinks? What the hell is this? See, when you just say this is real estate, they go, real estate? So I'm talking to them right now about real estate, and he asked me, or she asked me, who do you know that has a great head on their shoulders, a great work ethic, and a great attitude? I thought of you. Compliment. I hope you don't mind. But I've got Michael, and then if we're in the same room, then you're going to say on speakerphone. If not, you're going to say on the call. Okay, I've got Michael on the call with us. I'd love to introduce you. Okay, so let's pause right here. I'm going to pause right here. So in the last 2 weeks, we've done this, I don't know, 200, 300 times. We're smiling and dialing, okay? And the conversations that end with a, yeah, I'd love to meet you, there's a critical point right here. Because here's what I don't want to have happen. Hi, I've got Michael on the phone. Pause. Is it okay if I connect you with him? Then they're going to go, no, now's not a good time. So if you notice, the script doesn't ask. It says, I'd love to introduce you. I've got Michael on the phone with us. I hope you don't mind. I got Michael on the phone with us. I'd love to introduce you. Then right here, there should not be a period. There's no period and no space right here. Don't even take a breath. Don't inhale. Nothing. You just blend it all. I'd love to introduce you, Michael. This is Chuck. Chuck, this is Michael. And then they go, hi, instead of no. Okay? So you're not asking, is it okay? Is now a good time? You already asked up here. Okay? So don't ask again. You're saying, I hope you don't mind, but I'd love to introduce you. Michael, it's Chuck. Chuck, this is Michael. And then they say hi. Hi. And then I say hi. Oh my goodness. Hi, how are you? Okay, so the other thing is you got to clarify that this is not a catch-up call. Okay, you're not calling to catch up. You're on a mission. So if they're like, oh, how's it going? How's the kids? You need to interrupt them and say, I'd love to talk to more about that later on. This is not a catch-up call. I'll call you this weekend. We can catch up. Okay. too many people think that they're being friendly with their friends and catch up for 20 minutes, 30 minutes to just go, oh, by the way, I'm doing this real estate thing. And then their friends are like, oh, this is why you called me. Don't do that crap. Be upfront about it. Audio is very bad for Cody, and it's great for Tracy. All right, Cody, AT&T, I don't know. Is everyone else hearing me okay?
Yeah, you're good, Michael.
Okie dokie. Thanks, guys. Okay, so not a catch-up call. Okay, don't do a bait and switch. This is you're focused. You got a mission. You'll catch up later. This is not a catch-up call. Literally, this call should take 6 minutes max. Okay. Okay, so now coming down here, hi, and then I get to say, hi, I realize we've caught you off guard. It was a spur of the moment. Your friend was saying some great things about you, and it was me that asked him to call or asked her to call. That's me. I say that. I take the blame. So then if the call goes horribly wrong, guess what? It's all my fault. All my fault, okay? Calling was my idea. Then they're not going to get mad at you. They're not going to get mad at anybody because now we're appealing to third parties. Cody, log out and log back in. Everyone else is clear as mud. Okay, so then guess what? We understand. Oh, and let's see if I can spell it right. I spell it right? Pendulum. The pendulum theory. Pendulum theory says that if I try to get someone to go in this direction, a yes or a positive, then I'm going to bring up the no's and the negatives. This is what I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight this if I want to create that. Okay? So that's what this paragraph is right here. I'm going to assume the positive. Hey, because I don't know where you're at in life and business, you may be making more money than you can spend, and maybe you're really happy with where it's at, I'll just be brief about what we do. Okay, when I say you might be having everything doing just fine, I'm assuming this yes. So at the end of the phone call, they go, well, actually, it's not going as well as I want. Okay, you got to understand it's designed that way. If you come out and say, hey, we fix people's problems and, you know, they don't know velocity banking and they're all screwed up and we're going to help them. So how can we help you? They're going to go, you start to highlight the negative, they're going to go, nah, I'm fine. I'm good. I don't need you. Okay? So assume everything's fine for them. That way they can give you some insight. They don't have to have a defense. So because I don't know where you're at in life and business and maybe everything's going your way, I'll just be brief about what we do. I'm a real estate investor. We're crushing it on the residential side, the commercial side. We do wholesaling and rentals. We've got a great business. Have you ever thought of investing in real estate? Then you get a yes or a no, and they will all lead back to an invitation. Invitation for a webinar, a lunch, coffee, a workshop, a screen share, a cash recovery party, something. So by the end of that, we're a BAM family. We're booking something. I pull up the calendar and I'm like, oh, okay, how about you meet me here? Or maybe we can meet here. If none of those work, then I say, cool, let's just do a screen share and I'll introduce you to who we are and what we do. We can go from there, see if this is a good fit. If it's not a good fit, it's all good. Okay, so based off of that, what questions do you have? What else do you want to know? What else? What else? What else? Hey, is Rocky on today? Rocky, are you here? Rocky is here. Rocky, are you in a place where you can unmute and you can share with the folks a little bit about what's been going on when we've called your top 25 and how that's been happening? Maybe
Yeah, I
some,
don't know if you guys can hear me.
yeah, go ahead. Loud and clear.
Awesome. What did you want me to go over?
What was going on in your mind before we made these calls and what's happened since you've been making these calls and how it's getting easier?
Initially, my biggest fear was I'm going to bug my friends. They think that I'm going to sell them stuff and they're not going to want to talk to me, or if I try to call and catch up later, they're not going to call me or answer. They're going to be like, oh, he's going to try and sell me some crap again, or because I come from that world. I come from the sales world. So they probably have that in their head. That's what I was thinking. But once I called, it was just really easy to just jump in and do it. And I haven't got as many people to the meetings as I would like, but it just became easier the more people I talked to. And the other day we were at EMT. We did a little call party, self-directed call party, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And I jammed through 27 or 28 calls very quickly. It was easy, and now it's the reverse. My friends are, oh, what have you been up to? What have you been doing? How's it going? And I'm like, hey, look, I'm just calling to see, I got this thing going on next week. I'd really like to invite you. And I kind of take over the back end of the call as well, and don't need much help because now that I've practiced it enough, I've called over 120 people so far off my list of 200.
Nice.
It's just getting easier. So
It's just getting easier.
that's it.
Cool. So awesome. Thanks, Rocky. And
Yep.
fortunes in the follow-up. So one thing that we, as humans, we have to understand when we're trying to make decisions about moving forward on something, there's only two places to come from. We're either coming from the drama side or the clarity side. So what's going on in your mind? And what Rocky was pointing out is, you know what, the drama that was showing up for him, right? My friends are going to hate me. They're going to think I'm just there to sell them. But with the clarity is he's here to add value, give new information. And the clarity he's experiencing is his friends are curious. They're wanting him to succeed. And eventually they'll be in. So it's something that if you don't have clarity on, then recognize you might be operating from drama and just stay away from that. Clarity. Only work with what you know. Okay, so we're going to have a call party. Let's do this. Tracy Lewis. Here we go. I'll screenshot it over to you. How about that? Oh, you got it too? There. Okay. So here's what happens when we go through this exercise, and this is what Rocky got to do. So we make our top 25, right? We're starting to call him. Hey, mind if I got him on the phone right here? Here's your thing. Yeah, this is what we do. Great business. I don't know if you're okay with it. Have you ever considered investing in real estate? Okay, get through that. There's our 25. It's going to take us between 2 and 4 hours to make 25. Okay, and guess what's going to happen? We're going to get, this is what's going to happen. I'll tell you right now. It's going to be like this. No, 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 no. Really? No, 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 no. Really? No, 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 no. Really? No, no. Really? No. No, really? 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 Okay. That's what's going to happen. And on this okay, you get paid. It doesn't matter if it's your first one, your last one, doesn't matter. What you're going to do the following week or month is you're going to get a new list of 25 to start calling from the 200 that you made. So next week or next month, depending on how many bills you need to pay, it's how many calls you're going to make. I need to pay a lot of bills, so I made a lot of calls. This is what's going to happen. You're going to say, hey, Remember that last conversation I called? I had that guy on the phone with me, or do you remember that last conversation I had where I was trying to introduce you to that guy? Uh, anyway, my business is growing. My business is growing. And so I was just calling to let you know that last month, I generated, and then it's going to be, depending on what you sold, $1,000 to $10,000. I generated $10,000 last month. Would you like to consider taking a look at what my business is? And then guess what's going to happen? Those guys that were the curious type, they're going to go, tell me more, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And then this guy's going to go, okay. And then this guy's going to go, okay, I'm in. Holy crap, I didn't know it was that. That's incredible. So then you start calling these people. Hey, did you know my business just generated? This is what I'm doing. You run the script. My business just generated. Run the script. It's easy. Paint by numbers. Over here, you're going to make some money. And you let these people know. And then guess what? Most of them are going to go, no, 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 no. Some will be like, really, 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 really. Some will say, what? And some will say yes, depending on what relationships you've built along the way. And then some of these people will turn into yeses. We just start to go back and ask. Over time, 3 months, 6 months, a year. Hey, guess what? Last year my business generated $42,000 on the side. Would you like to see how I'm doing that? Okay. And they start to turn into yeses. And those yeses give you a reason to call all these people back that said no the first time. Be like, man, it's been about a year. Guess what? My business is doing this. It really, if you guys think about it, if you're trying to make a 6-figure income, $100,000, it is only making 10 sales. 10 sales. You make 10 sales, you get $100,000. You get $100,000, you're a new person. When you make $100,000, guess what you can do on the phone? You call these people and say, guess what? I just made $100,000. Okay. Along the way, what's going to happen is you're going to have some of these people who said yes that become students, right? This guy right here, he said yes, he wants in. Well, he is also curious how you made all this money. You say, oh, well, I'm an independent marketing affiliate. I made my list of top 25, got on the phone with my guy or my gal, and we just called my top 25 and told them about our business. So now this guy's going to go, oh, okay, I'll do that. And now all of a sudden you have your top 25, but you also have his top 25. Because remember, his first 2 sales go to you. So now you're going to go through his top 25 and you're going to find 2 more sales. So now you got your sales coming from here, your sales coming from here. Okay. So guess what? When you make more sales, he gets to call his people, hey, my business generated, in order for you to become 5-star qualified, you got to generate $20,000 in business. So you call people back when you hit that achievement. Hey man, I just hit this. My business just generated another $20,000 this month. Come take a look. So what will happen is, out of this one guy, you get a sale. This guy right here. Yay. First guy says yes. That happens all the time. Abi Kushik, in case you guys don't know, first 2 people he asked got 2 yeses, 2 combos done. Depends on what foundation you've laid with your warm market. Okay, so then this guy says, yes, I'm in. And then he's going to bring his list of 25. So basically, it never stops. You don't need to go make a Craigslist ad, post a sign in a yard, put 1 million drop cards out. What you want to do is focus on adding value, using the tool that Bob Snyder made, keeping this thing simple, being honest about what your business is producing, right? If your business is generating an extra $200 a month, then cool, be proud of that. If it's just $200 a month, great. Some people would would love an extra $200 a month, but don't have the time to do it, so they could leverage our technology. Call them up, say, hey, would you like to see how this business works? And remember, what's embedded in the script is compliments. Who's a hardworking, great attitude, great work ethic, good head on their shoulders? I thought of you. So this gets to be pretty easy. And then guess what? The doing, like you doing this exercise on these folks, calling them, the ones who say yes, guess what it turns into? Training. Okay, because what works on them will work for them. So they're sitting there thinking, well, how am I going to get these sales? I need 10 sales, make 100 grand. My wife will actually love me if I do that. You say, great. Let's get 10 people. Well, how? Oh, you get 10 people the same freaking way we got you. How do you think you showed up? Your friend called you and said, holy crap, I'm on a new journey. I'm on a new path. I'm going down the real estate world. Things are happening, and I can't keep it to myself. So he goes, oh, just like what I went through. Yep, that's it. Same thing. I remember that. I don't need your help. You get some people like that that just go make their own sales. Okay, so 10 sales is 100,000. How else could we get 100,000? What if we get 4 combo holders, 5-star? How much money will we make? We help 4 people hit 5-star status, make $116,000. So you can get 10 people on your own, or you can get 4 people to get there 2 each. This stuff is easy, guys. This is math. This is easy math. Okay, so when we do our call parties, this is the arena that I set up. So just, physically cool, yeah, if we're in the same room. But if not, oh man, who drew on my board? Clean that off, please. Whoever did that. This is me. I'm writing in blue. Who wrote this red line? Anyway, thank you. Okay. Adding value, call parties. Okay, so here's something I get to learn all the time, and I'm reminded all the time. People are terrified of the phone. They think the phone is going to jump out and bite them or something. I don't get it. So we have call parties. What I like to do, if you just imagine, we're in an office and you're sitting in a desk, right? And then I roll out this whiteboard, right? Like, hey guys, welcome. We're about to make some money. But before we do, let's get a few things clear. And up on the top of the board, I'll write out the 4 core beliefs. What are the 4 core beliefs? Number 1, Renatus is the best income opportunity in the country. Okay, that's the first one. Do not disturb, do not disturb, do not disturb. Where is it? Which one do not disturb? Oh, calm down. Okay. Number 1. Number 2, everyone needs Renatus. Number 3, we are doing them a favor. We are doing them a favor because they cannot sign themselves up at Renatus. They need you, so you're going to do them a favor. And number 4, simply put, it's their gain when they say yes. Okay, I see too many IMAs jumping up and down saying, woohoo, I got my commission, and they're forgetting that the customer is the big winner. They're getting the education, the information, the support, the structure that they need. They're the big winners. So you got to remember number 4. It's their game when they say yes. Their game when they say yes, and at the same time, it's their loss if they say no. So I write this out on the board every time, right up here. 4 core beliefs. All right, guys? It doesn't matter if I got 1 IMA in the room or 25. We're writing them down. Okay, then here's the key. Because people show up, right? People show up, remember we talked about this in drama or clarity. So some people show up and they'll say, I'm not good at blah, blah, blah. They'll say something. And they'll put a label on themselves and they'll close possibilities. And they'll say, I'm not good at. Right? Let's say this person's name is Bill. So Bill says, hey, you got to know one thing about Bill. Bill doesn't like to do this. Bill's not good at it. Bill's never been good at it. I say, all right, Bill, good. I don't give a shit. All right? I'm not talking to Bill anymore. Sorry, I swore. We'll get over that soon, hopefully. I said, Bill, I don't care about your story, about your lack, about your past mistakes. I don't care about any of that crap. Okay? Because your new name is now Dollar Bill. All right? And Dollar Bill doesn't talk like that. So William can be excused. Dollar Bill, I'm talking to Dollar Bill. And then maybe we get someone named Christian, right? Christian's at the call party. All right, Christian, well, your name's not Christian anymore. Your name is C Money. And, what I did, and I didn't know why it was working, it was just working, is these people that were showing up, and I did the same thing. I'm not Michael, I was Money Michael. That's what I wanted to be. So Michael was not good on the phone. Michael never made sales calls. Michael never did this. But Money Michael smiles and dials all day. So, we started adding these different things. So Amanda became, Amanda Panda, right? Now, all of a sudden, we're different people calling on the phone. The reason why is because we, a long time ago, decided what we're not good at, and we gave ourselves all these labels and limits. So if we go make a new character, a new person, guess what? No labels, no limits. Now we can act and keep it easy, keep it smooth. Okay? Don't justify your limits. So if you guys need a new nickname, start typing it in the chat. It's right. Remember Nick Nunu, right? Nick Nunu, his last name Nunu. So we called him New Money. Right? And then we got Nick Young. Instead of saying, hey, Nick 1 and Nick 2, that's dumb. We got New Money, and then we got Young Money. What is your smile and dial? Oh, look at that. Rocky is Balboa. Linda is Limitless Linda. I like it. Okay? So now we're making calls from this person. This is what I'm doing, man. Joe. Let's see. Joe. What is Joe's smooth grave? Big Doe Joe. There we go. The Big Doe Joe. We got Zack Attack. I like that. Big Doe Joe. It's 2 does. You could do what you spell D-O-E because Joe, you like to go shoot things, right? And dough as in D-O-U-G-H. Get that dough, get that scratch. Pastor Pete. Hey, Pastor Pete, just doing my smiling and dialing. The dojo. Oh, I see, like the dojo. T-Money. There we go. T-Money for Tyler. Melissa. Let's see. Melissa. Owens. Making money, Melissa. Let's see. Melissa. We have to keep thinking. Melissa. Amy Pay Me. Yes. There you go. Love it. That's awesome. Amy Pay Me. Nice. There we go, guys. So this is the new person we're taking on. Limitless. That doesn't have any of these past experiences replaying in a terrible way. These people show up powerfully. They're calling, they're smiling and dialing. So while we're at the call parties, what we decided is we gotta track this stuff, right? We gotta track this. So there's points, right? So it's a little whiteboard. We got markers and stuff sitting down here, okay? So when you make a call and it ends in a yes, you get a point. So yeses equal plus 1 point. Yeah, like a yes, I'll attend or a yes, I'll watch. Getting an email address is 1 point. Them hanging up on you is 1 point. You hanging up without an email or without a yes, minus 1 point. So you only get points if you talk so much that they hang up on you, you get an email or you get a yes. But if you hang up first, if you're like, oh, well, okay, well, I didn't mean to bother you, have a nice day, and then you hang up, we're going to take a point away. But other than that, if they hang up on you, they say, look, not interested. Be like, well, I think you are. You just don't know what you don't know, so let me help you. So this is how we get our points. So when you get a yes, then you walk your happy little self right up to the board and you give yourself a point. You get back to work. So sometimes in a room of 2 to 5 IMAs, we could get 20 to 30 people booked in like an hour. Doesn't take that much work. And guess what? In that hour, you've been more economically productive and valuable than most people working all month. It's crazy to think about. Yeah, most people don't make $10,000 a month, and if you could do that in a couple hours. Okay, Wanda Wealth, the Wealthy Wanda's ways of wacky, wonky Wanda. I don't know. I like it. I like Wanda Wealth. Raking it in, Robbie. Nice. Robbie the Raker, raking it in. Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Cool. So it's pretty straightforward little game plan. High fives for days. I have a little music playing in the background. There's a puke bag for somebody in the corner because you know they're hyperventilating. We got it all, right? Been through it all. We've seen it all, and that's why we win contests. So we're gonna avoid any sort of labeling of I'm not good at. That doesn't serve anybody. And take on this new attitude. What can I learn? What can I create? Who can I serve? Who can I serve? When you start asking questions like that, you know what you start to create is one of these. When you start to ask, who can I serve? Who, and then in what capacity can I serve them? What ideas, introductions, concepts, resources. That's it. Focusing on other people, adding value. Okay, so now that you guys have been able to digest that, what do you want me to clarify about what we've gone through? If you want to come off mute, that's fine too. You can type it in the chat or you can come off mute. We got about 10 minutes. 10 minutos. So if no one has any questions, that means I can retire. Does that mean I can retire? I can just quit. Nope. No more questions. Holy crap. My job's done. Oh, there's a question. When's the next call party? Perfect. My next call party is going to be, I'm doing one. Well, I'm going to Hawaii this weekend. Let's look at the calendar real quick. Calendario. Okay, so 25, 26, 27, 28, I'm in Hawaii. Then 29, I'm back in Seattle. So probably the 28th. Now I know what's going to happen. Llama y sonríe. That's right, smiling down. Okay. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to make calls, and people are going to, whoever wants to do it with me, let's do it. We can do it on Monday the 28th. But what some people are going to do is they're going to go, well, Michael, don't you know that's a holiday? I'm going to say, guess what? Interest still accrues on holidays. You still got to pay taxes on holidays. That shit doesn't matter. Yes, it's a holiday, which means it's a great time to call because they will be home. It's a perfect reason to call. Some of you are like, wow, I don't want to call on Monday. That's a holiday. And for me, I just need a day off. Well, what? What do you need a day off for? What do you need a day off for? So that's employee-minded thinking. I need this day off. No, you need a decade off, and you need to work right now. Okay. So holidays are great. Rainy days, snowy days, these kind of things where people are just home. Banks are closed, so guess what? All the bankers, you can now call them. They're home. They're not in the bank. This is easy stuff. So you could look at it as, oh no, it's a holiday. You create some drama, right? This whole drama around, well, I'm going to bother them. That's drama. The clarity is they will be home. See what I mean? See what I mean, Jelly Bean? Okay, Tracy, I'm executing this at the next IMA training that I'm having with my team members. Can we have a virtual call party? That would be cool. Yeah, we do call parties virtually all the time. Let's see. How would you bam fam if the person you call says it isn't a good time to talk? Okay, so we're going back to the script right up here. We're talking about this very first one where you say, hey, did I catch you at a good time? Is this what you're talking about, Zach? It's right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. So, two things. You know your friends.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, cool. So you know your friends, and so sometimes you can tell legitimately, you can hear in the background something, whatever. That's fine. So you say, cool. And then I usually ask, what, do you need like 20 minutes that I can call you back? And then first go for something like that. Like 20 minutes or more, like an hour, I can call you back then. Okay. And they're usually like, yeah, sure, that'll work. Or if I feel like they're not busy, like it just in my head says they're not busy, then I'll say, this will just take a minute. And I just do it anyways. It'll just be a minute. What are they doing? So first thing is I default, all right, 20 minutes, can I call you back? Because the other thing is they'll see why you're like, hey, 20 minutes when you get down here and you're like, well, I actually have them on the phone with me. And then they'll go, oh, that's why you wanted to call me back in 20 minutes. Okay, we got this important person waiting. Okay. So that's helpful. And then for my other friends and what I heard Rocky doing and Andrew and these other guys last week is they're just like, well, this will just take a minute. And then just go right through it. Here's why I'm calling. I'll do that same thing if they're responded ads. I'll put out different advertising, and these people respond, and I call them back. Hey, you called my ad. Remember calling? Yeah. All right. Well, is now a good time to talk? No. And I just go, well, this will just take a minute. And I wait, and then most of the time they go, okay. Well, this will just take a minute. Right? I mean, we got to understand we're competing with Facebook here. Little drips of dopamine and oxytocin, we're competing with that. And so sometimes they're like, no, don't interrupt me. You say, well, this will just take a minute. And then just run the script. I've been hanging out with someone for a while. They're crushing it in real estate, talking about how they're expanding. And he asked me. Does that help, Zach?
Absolutely, Mike. Thanks.
You betcha, Zach Attack. Cool. The best time, the best day, that's the best day to call. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, if you want to say smile and dial in Spanish, it's llama y sonríe. Llama y sonríe. Smile and dial. That's what we do. We don't make calls. We don't prospect. Right? We're not these robots. I don't do that kind of crap. I got music playing. I'm having snacks. I'm sipping on some coffee right now. Right? You just got to be relaxed. You got to enjoy yourself while you're doing this. So that's why I call it smile and dial, because naturally when you smile, you got a new chemical pumping in your brain. And then dial. Okay, look yourself in the mirror, smile. You might even say to yourself, and I say it often to myself, I like myself and I love what I do. I like myself and I love what I do. I like myself and I love what I do. I gotta make 100 calls today and I only have time for 50. Well, good thing I like myself and I love what I do. I gotta make 10 calls today and I only have time for 2. Well, I like myself and I love what I do, so let's just smile and dial. Got to get leverage on yourself. You're a chemical factory. You know what makes your chemicals? Exercise, eating right, smiling. All right, Charlotte's got a question. Michael, when we introduce you to them, should we edify them too? You already did. You already did right here. Yeah, you already told them that you thought they had a great work ethic, a great attitude, great head on their shoulders. So you already edified them a little bit, and that's how they qualified to be on the phone with you or with me or with whatever. So there was that up front. If it gets too much, we're like, well, Michael, I'm really excited that you're talking to Chuck here. Chuck's done this and this and this in business and in life, and he's also accomplished that, and he's this and that. Then it's defeating the purpose. So 1, 2 good points. Hey, Michael, and this is really why I'm excited for you to talk to him, because of this specific thing about him. You could point that out, but don't overstack it. We want to make sure that the power in the conversation is with the 5-star. And remember this, why did I put these little green dots here? No break in your speech pattern, no breath. Just go right to it. I'd love to introduce you, Mike. This is Chuck. Chuck, this is Mike. Just like that. You're not asking for permission. No breath, no break. Let's go right into it. Cool. Good questions. And if you don't like your 5-star, you don't think your 5-star will gel with your top 25, or it's just scheduling doesn't work. Sometimes I had to call my warm market at 10 o'clock at night because that's when I got off Sears. So I'm not expecting Jody to stay up. Hey, Jody, let me go. No, sometimes I had to do it on my own. But there's other times where you just use the people in your office. Hey, if I buy you lunch, Can I use you for an hour while I call 10 of my warm markets and you just say this? Let's watch this video together. Let's go help each other. Let's do it together. It doesn't have to be your 5-star. Work together. And especially if you're going to call a list of 25 ladies, why don't you consider having a lady team member on there and she can share her story of what Renatus is doing? You see what I mean? Like, let's try to put it together so it's easy for your friends and family to receive this information. Okay, I do want to remind you at the end of the day, the most powerful statements that you can be using are called release statements. Release statements. Okay, I use them all the time because you want to avoid a tie down. Okay, that's amateurish. That's that salesy, crappy crap no one likes. Doing these tie down type language where you're like, well, wouldn't you agree that if you loved your family, you would get into real estate so you could provide for them? Don't do that shit. Okay, that's yucky. No one likes tie downs. So avoid tie downs and instead opt for release statements. So what a release statement is it gives an opportunity and an environment to say no and be okay with it. Okay? Don't come at your friends with like, oh, you just got to do this. It's so cool. You got to do this. You got to do this. Don't do that. You don't want them to do that to you. You don't do that to them. So use a release statement. So look, I thought of you. I thought it'd be great to be on the phone with connect this. I thought it'd be awesome for you to come to a house tour or watch this webinar. I thought of you. But you know your situation better than I do. So if you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it. Right? You know your situation better than me. If it's not for you, that's 100% okay with me. Okay? When you create an opportunity to say no, then you can get some authentic yeses instead of those fake yeses. Say, look, if it's not for you, that's fine. If real estate's not your thing, if paying off your mortgages like this not your thing, it's all good. I don't care. I just wanted you to at least know what I'm up to. If you don't want to do it, I don't want you to do it. Okay? So use release statements all the time, all the time. Sometimes IMAs will call me, Michael, my friend would be really good at this, and I just pointed out all the reasons why he should do it, but he's not doing it. It's because you're forcing him to say yes. So if you say, you know what? I don't want you to do it. Maybe it's not for you. Then all of a sudden you'll get them to turn around and go, well, what was that website again? What's the address again? So use release statements. All right, Linda says, would you post a copy for us on Facebook? What they'll do, Linda, Kevin, hey, Michael, yeah, time's up. Yes, there is, if you just go to the YouTube channel, Elevate Renatus, you will see these recordings. There's a bunch of them. Maybe you make this one mandatory listening for your new IMAs. Say, look, we're going to go do call parties. You need to get this in your noggin first. Okay, then you can blame me because they'll get to the end of this recording and they'll be like, oh, it's all Michael's fault. Yes. Okay, there you go. Copy of the script. Yeah, Linda, if I knew how Facebook worked, I could do that. Let's see here. Groups. Which group? How about I just go to this one for now? I'm going to write something. Paste. Removing that period on purpose. All right, there you go. Have at it, Linda. Go forth and prosper. Muchas gracias. Okay. All right, guys. It is Wednesday. What is today? 23rd, right? Wednesday, May 23rd, 2018. It's the only one you're going to get. Cherish it. Use it. Don't take it for granted. Go help a stranger, kiss a baby, Call your mom. Take care, guys. See you later.